We've achieved a state of normalcy with respect to the South Coast sewage system, and we're taking steps inclusive of a continuous maintenance of the entire sewer network and a FOGS program to prevent an occurrence of what was allowed to happen that became known as the South Coast sewage crisis.
That's the Minister of Energy and Water Resources, Wilfred Abrahams, speaking at a recent press conference, giving us an update on everything that has been happening on the South Coast to correct some of the sewage issues that we've been seeing there. Significant progress, as you've heard, has been made in dealing with these problems, and we want to talk a bit more about that on this edition of Water Wednesdays. Those successes are very key under the Mia Mottley administration so far. What can Barbadians be happy about as we try to continue this fix on the South Coast?
Really? What can it be? Have you driven on there?
Yes. No
what
sewage
do
on
you
the streets.
smell?
Nothing.
Okay, well, you can be happy about that. So the reality is that the sewage is off the streets. We have stopped polluting the Graham Hall swamp. We managed to pretty much advance rehabilitation of the swamp to the point where you can now see through to the bottom. The smell is gone. The mosquitoes are under control. Fish are being reintroduced to the swamp. The water quality in the swamp is way, way, way better. But at the end of the day, we've constructed a temporary outfall. So we've done the best that we could, but this is not the permanent solution. The permanent solution for Barbados has to do with upgrading our sewage treatment plants. The reason the water on the road was that much of an issue is because it was sewage. Most big countries, and if we're talking about recycling and renewable energy and conservation and environmentally sustainable, then we have to talk about reusing our water. It is a conversation that has to be had. So it was that much of an issue for us because it was sewage. Had it been tertiary treated water that could be easily used for agriculture, easily used in the house, easily used to recharge the aquifer, we would not be worrying about it. If there was an incident with it coming up in the street, we would not be worrying about how do we get an outfall sufficiently far offshore to not affect the nearshore reefs. We would have been looking at all the possible ways we could reuse it and turn it in and monetize it for the benefit of the Barbados Water Authority. So although the immediate apparent effect is under control, so for the average person who is traversing the South Coast or using the sewage network, we are back to better than we were before the network went down. But that is not the solution. The solution has to do with us upgrading our sewage treatment plant and us adjusting the way in which we respond to treated water. We need to get to the point where the treated water is not considered waste, but is considered as an asset. It is water that can be used and used productively in Barbados.
There's another element of reality that has set in also for the Barbados Water Authority. The BWA has been dealing with it for some time. What people are putting down the drains and creating some problems as far as fats, oils and grease, better known as fogs. What will you be doing as minister, or do you have a vision or plan to deal with that issue?
In January, we served notice on over 300 commercial residential users of the system that we are starting from this month, February, inspections of the grease traps, inspections of your domestic sewage system to ensure that you're compliant with the requirements, because the sewer network has to be protected.
Good advice coming from our Minister of Energy and Water Resources, Wilfred Abrahams, as we wrap up this edition of Water Wednesdays. Of course, you'll hear more about that campaign about fats, oils and greases right here as well. To view this or a previous episode again, please visit our website, www.barbadoswaterauthority.com. You can go to our Facebook page as well for additional information, or just type Water Wednesdays in YouTube. You will find us there.